They're Al Perhacs, author, creator, visionary behind the Mind Force method of high performance esoteric training. And every time I say esoteric training, people always get a little like, what does that mean? Well, esoteric means hidden. So I'm going to be able to teach you, guide you, mentor you, coach you with things that other coaches, they don't even know. That's the bottom line. So if you want to hire me, and it's interesting when I say if you want to hire me, what that means is that when I work with you on your goals, dreams, visions, strategies, tactics, and we get you an end result, or I refund your money, and I pay you an extra $1,000. How about that? How about that for a guarantee? Why do I have that guarantee? Because I know my stuff works. Now you got to execute, but it'll definitely work. So in this session, I want to go into a little bit more detail on a couple things that I think are important. And I keep reiterating these things over and over and over again because they never get stale. And that is mindset, mission, and moves, right? So if I'm sitting down and pretend like we're sitting down in your office or in my office, or we're at a hotel in the lobby and we're discussing business, we're going to hit these points: mindset, mission, and moves, because every company, every individual, every entrepreneur, every person that's going through a situation with their career has to focus on these three things. Now, there's a lot of layers to each one, but this is a key. By the way, check this out. I've been using these pads for years, right? And you can get these at like Staples or wherever, and it has where you can write down all your thoughts. Right? I have whiteboards, but I also have this. When I get done filling this up, like I'm getting ready to take a photo of this, and I will catalog it, right? Under whiteboards and plans, right? That's what I do. You should do the same thing on your desk, because have a big white pad. There's many layers to it. It takes me years to go through them. And you start writing your notes on them so that you can see what you're doing. That's all part of the mindset, the mission. It's part of the mission because you're setting up a vision for your enterprise, for your job even, right? For the next job, for the next project, for the next whatever, right? That's what it comes down to. Now, why do I always have mindset as number one? Is because mindset is the thing that if you don't have it, it doesn't matter about these two, because you're not going to make it happen without the proper mindset. I can't tell you how many people I have coached, where the biggest thing I had to teach them was the mindset, because they already knew the mission, the moves, they had the goals, they had the vision, they had the strategy, they knew the techniques, they were technically sound, but the mindset was deficient for one reason or another. Usually the mindset comes back to past trauma. That's usually what it comes back to. And so everyone needs that mindset injection. As a coach, as a mentor, as you saw, the Mind Force Mentor. My students gave me that name because they say you are the Mind Force Mentor. And that's my thing, right? Is being able to shift your mindset in a way, in a very short period of time, that will allow you to go from a place of where you're feeling like you can't cope to where you feel unstoppable, right? That's the mindset, right? So then we go to the mission. And again, these are things that you need to constantly Negotiate in your mind. And what do I mean by renegotiate? Is you need to keep telling yourself, yes, I'm good enough. I have the skill sets. I can do this. I can make things happen, right? The mission is also the vision, the goals, right? The mission's also the strategy. I did videos. If you haven't seen my videos that I did a couple years ago, they're short, maybe 5 minutes a piece, and I went through vision or mindset, vision, strategy, skill set, right? And so this is all part of the process. And then accountability is layered on top of that. These are elements that you can use immediately. Write this down. Write this down and start figuring out your own mindset, mission, and moves. And ask yourself the question, do I have a strong mindset regarding whatever, right? Regarding my health, regarding my job, regarding my company, regarding my business, regarding my profession, regarding my relationship, regarding my attitude, right? There's a lot of elements in there, right? The right mindset. And then we get to the mission, and it's having a good vision and a strategy. So what's the vision? Right? The vision is being able to understand what it is that you want, because we're motivated. Remember this word motivated, right? The word motivated comes from the word motive, right? And if you ever watch any police, murder, mystery shows, anything like that, or anything where they're investigating, it comes down to the motive. What was the motive of the person that committed the crime? What was the motive? And a lot of times when I say motivation to people, another motivational guy. No, not necessarily, but you have to have a motive that's going to move you. It's the vision. It's the thing that is going to motivate you. It's the motive that's going to motivate. That's what's going to motivate you, is your motive. If you don't have a strong vision, then you won't do the work, or you will half-fast it. Say that fast, it's half-fast, right? You get it. So that's the motive, right? The motivation. And so you have to constantly motivate yourself, right? People getting started in a health program. What's the motive, right? The motive is I want to be in great shape because my wife or husband just left me and I need to get in better shape to get a new partner. That's a big motivation. I'm going to motivate myself because I'm going on a vacation to Cancun, and I don't want to look like a fat boy or a fat girl going to the beach. That's the motive. That's the motivation. So that when you go into the gym, the vision is you being on the beach and looking great. But if you don't have that motive, guess what? You will never do the work. Well, maybe not never, but you won't be as motivated. People that go to the gym all the time have a motivation factor, right? And then we got the moves, right? What are the moves? The moves are the tactics, right? That are going to get you there. I call this, and if you've been following me for enough time, or if you've coached with me, is flight time. And I always ask people, did you put in flight time this week? What did your flight time look like? If you want to become a pilot, in fact, if you want to become good at anything, you've got to put in flight time, execution time. They always talk about the 10,000 hours, right? Do you know what the 10,000 hours is? If you don't know what the 10,000 hours is, it's a homework assignment for you. I'm not gonna even tell you what it is. This is your homework assignment if you don't know what the 10,000 hours is. But do a Google search and you'll see what it is, and send me an email. But you've got to put in the flight time, the execution time. So if you're in sales and you have a good mindset, it allows you to be able to put it in the execution time in doing things that are maybe not the glorious side of sales. Cold calls, emailing, the grunt work, right? If you're in a business, you might be in a mundane business. By the way, most businesses, most jobs, most careers are mundane, which means they're not that exciting. They're not that exciting. And so a lot of times I'll be coaching someone, they're like, I just don't enjoy my job. I don't enjoy this. It's mundane. Now the guy's making $500,000 a year. The woman's making, $250,000 a year. It's mundane. Of course it is. Most business is. Because it's doing the same thing over and over again, but that's how you get good. How do you get good at shooting a basketball? Mundane work of just constantly shooting, because it's fun playing in a game, right? It's not very fun just shooting basketballs. People love playing golf, but are they going to get good at each aspect of the game, the long game, the mid game, and the short game? Are they going to continually practice in each zone, not just play the game, right? You want to have a good looking body? Mundane. Going to the gym. Now you can learn to love the gym, but people don't really love it. They love the results that they get. So again, what I'm putting together for you here is your game plan. And I'll go into more detail in some of these areas in another video, but you have to understand this is it. Mindset, mission, and moves. Write it down. Put it on your calendar, and then take that mindset and say, where am I at on mindset? Do I have the proper mindset to get me to where I need to go? And if not, what do I have to do to change it? What do I have to do to tweak it? What do I have to do to get better at? I've got some solutions for you if you want. Like I said, hire me. Guaranteed results. Because you by yourself are not going to be as strong as you and I together. It's like a 10 times force. The mission. What is your mission, your vision, your strategy? Do you have the right one? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But we can analyze that and say, okay, what is your vision? A lot of times people have a vision that doesn't correspond to the mindset or the moves or even the strategy. The vision's out of line. So then it's really bringing that person back and saying, okay, you have a mission, or you have a mission that you want to accomplish, but it's a little askew. Let's talk about it. What's important to you about that, right? And you need to ask yourself that same question, because it comes down to that motive, to get the motivation. There's no motivation without a motive. That's that mission, that strategy. What is that motivation? What is the motive? And then the moves, getting the tactics. Do you have, we could say this another way, is the skill set. Do you have the skill set to accomplish the mission? More than likely you do. Also, more than likely, you need to learn more. More than likely, you need to sharpen your skills. More than likely, you need to practice more. More than likely, you have to put in more flight time of getting better at the what? The mundane, right? Right here, the mundane. That's how you get good. Talking to a sales executive the other day, and I said, what do your scripts look like for your sales reps? We don't use scripts. All of our sales reps are experienced. How many of them are hitting their goals? 10% are. Why do you think that is? It's because they're not focusing on the mundane, which is creating scripts. And like an actor, you're using tactics and skill sets that you know work. That's how you get good at something. You're in marketing. You're doing the mundane. You're doing the testing. You're going in and you're looking at your ad sets and you're saying, okay, what's working, what's not working? And it could be a sliver of what is working and what is not working. And how do you get good at that? By constantly testing. Same thing's true with everything. Testing. Don't tell me what you think is going to work, because it doesn't mean anything. The only thing that matters is the actual results. I can't tell you how many people say to me, oh, I have a plan and I think this is going to work. And I always say to them, what makes you think that's going to work? What kind of proof do you have on that assumption that it's going to work? Well, I don't. Okay, that's okay though. But what I want you to do is I want you to test it. And if it doesn't work, I want you to throw it out or modify it, right? That's the bottom line. So anyway, that's what I wanted to cover today. And I'll go into more details as we go. But I thought this would be something good for you to understand. No matter what you do, no matter where you are, doesn't matter if you're male, female, if you live in the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, it doesn't matter. This works when you apply it. But it's not just watching a video and saying, wow, that's pretty cool, or it's not that cool. Doesn't matter if this is cool or not. It doesn't matter if this is interesting or not. What matters is you taking the action and creating your own mindset, mission, and moves, and then dissecting each piece and asking yourself maybe not the not so easy questions so that you can get an answer that's going to benefit you in the process. Anyway, I've enjoyed sharing with you. If you have any questions, email me. Again, if you want to hire me, or if you want to have a conversation, set up a time to speak with me. There's no pressure. I don't care if you work with me or not. Doesn't matter. Because what does that come down to? It comes down to the motive and the motivation. I don't ever have anybody working with me that's not motivated to get to the motive. You get it? I can't convince somebody who has a mindset that's bottom feeder that's going to want to become up-leveled. Never happens, right? So keep that in mind. If you want to set up a call, that'd be great. And have a fantastic day. Talk to you soon.